There. NFL season kicks off tonight. The popularity of the sports at an all-time high. Despite Deflategate, the last Super Bowl was most watched TV event in U.S. history. The Wall Street Journal has a story in it today. NFL's money machine never blinks. Joining us right now is Bruin Sports Capital founder George Pyne. George, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here.
Well, you've been investing in businesses around sports. Want to hear about that. But first, what makes the NFL so popular?
Well, the product's great. You know, it's reality TV. You don't know who's going to win, and it's exciting. And listen, Americans love football. You know, the highest-rated TV program ever was this year's Super Bowl. The highest-rated cable TV event was this year's championship game for college football. And if you look at the preseason game, the Hall of Fame game did 11 million viewers. The college football games this weekend, Ohio State, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, all great ratings. So Americans love football.
Even in the face of controversy like Deflategate, like, you know, bad behavior, to say the least.
Well, you know, sports is reality TV, and sometimes the stories are not neat and tidy, but I think that makes it more interesting.
So Matt Futterman in today's journals writing that there's $226 million to spread around the 32 teams, more than last year, more than last fiscal year. What accounts for that? Does that give us some kind of insight into the American consumer that we hadn't considered before? What accounts for that?
Well, what's driving that increase is the value of the media rights. And, you know, today's game is going to draw 20 million Americans. And in this fragmented media world, there aren't a lot of things that are going to aggregate 20 million people for 2 or 3 hours. So people are willing to pay for that. That's what's driving those numbers.
Not only do the fans not care about the controversies and the scandals, the sponsors don't either. Sponsorship revenue, according to that Futterman article, up 15% to $1.3 billion. Nobody cares. You can do whatever you want to as an individual player, and it doesn't tarnish the NFL.
Well, you know, the only thing I would say, taking up for the players, is, you know, we're focusing on the 5% that maybe is less than ideal, but there's a lot of good people that play football. There are a lot of good players putting a lot of effort into it. And I'd say, just like America, everybody in America is not perfect, but the vast majority of Americans are good people. The vast majority of football players are good, real people.
And a lot of the fan base there's been a changing demographic. Women have been watching the NFL in greater and greater numbers, something we've been watching in recent years. Do you see that trend continuing? I mean, the NFL has made accommodations to actually reach out to that demographic that didn't typically watch football.
No question. 89 million female fans for the NFL, 190 million fans in total, 53 million fans 18 to 34. That's why people buy sports. But there's very few things that can reach 18 to 34-year-old men plus 89 million females. So it's an attractive audience.
What was I doing last night? I was up at 11 watching Hard Knocks, and I don't even like the Texans.
11. Wow. All right. I'm very impressed, actually. But how have things changed? Because cord cutting has become an issue. The NFL is streaming a game on Yahoo this year. I mean, you're the former president of IMG Sports. Before that, you were the chief operating officer of NASCAR. You've seen a lot in sports over your tenure.
Sure, and I think what's very interesting is the NFL broadcasting a live game on Yahoo this year. Who would have thunk it?
Exactly.
There are two things behind that. One, to reach younger consumers, you're going to have to go on to other platforms eventually, right? Because they're not consuming content the way that they used to. So I think it's interesting to put a live game on Yahoo. And also, someday there'll be a Rupert Murdoch of digital platforms that is going to look and invest in great content. What was Fox Network before it had the NFL?
Does Goodell stay? Yes or no?
Look, Roger's done a good job. He's in a tough spot, and I think he'll stand the test of time.
George, good to talk with you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Great job. George Pyne is investing in sports-related businesses at his firm.